Okay, this is Orlando Wilson. And what I want to talk about in this video is something which I find annoying, especially when I see it on people's social media profiles, etc., etc. And this is where people use the title veteran. I'm a veteran, which has become very fashionable in the last, and we'll call it fashionable, in the last so many years. Years ago, the only people that used to call themselves veterans were generally American military guys or Vietnam guys, etc. Now everybody's taken over the title. And I have had people say to me, one guy comes to mind, yes, well, a lot of people come to mind. I'll give you a few stories of, oh, we're veterans, we're this, we're that. And it's like, well, you didn't do anything. You mean, before we get started, it's like, I've got total respect for anybody that serves their military, that volunteers to be uncomfortable, that volunteers to go into combat, war zones, etc. Total respect. I don't have any respect for the Klingons, shall we call them, that generally don't do anything but just play off the term veteran because at some point they were in the military. One gentleman comes to mind, and I know, yes, he was in the military, he was in what could be classed as an elite unit. He didn't do anything. He was in one location where there was issues in the day, going back how many years, but they didn't do anything. But again, they've got the veteran title, they was on an operation, etc. This is where with all military people, when I tell people when they're, especially civilians, when they're trying to recruit people, it's like, just because somebody's been in the military, just because somebody's been in an elite unit, doesn't mean they've done anything. I know of one little person that seems to hate us on social media that was apparently that's been blocked on all their social media, because I think when they get drunk they try to put discrediting comments on all their social media posts, was an intelligence operator, handler, source handler, etc. Well, from the guys I know that know him and bumped into him, his intelligence handling days was sat in an office making tea, coffee and photocopying, coming up with reports. He might have got his boots dirty when he's walking to the toilet. That's about it. I'll throw in another story. I had somebody in UK, surprise, surprise, saying to me, I knew quite well through somebody else, etc., long story, saying to me, I think there's the last person that said to me, oh, you're not British, you're American. I lived in America for a long time. You're not British, you're American, etc. This person was an RAF nurse that spent all their time in Germany and got out on a sick chair, medical discharge. And has since leaving the RAF a long time ago, has been, I think, living on benefits and bum jobs since then. But they're very active in the veterans community, and they go to all the marches, they do this, they do that, etc. To me, they're a complete and utter waste of space. Yes, they're in the military, but they're an obese benefit collector. You know what? I was in the British military. As far as me being British, I'm British. I was born there. My family goes back there to year dot. I hate the country. Detest the place. I was in the British military, which, how can I put it, was not what was expected and not what you see in the glossy brochures, because as far as we'll put it this way, would I employ, I met some very, very good guys there. Don't get me wrong, but the good guys usually got out early. The people that remained, would I give a job these days? I would say no. Why? Because they're generally lazy. When I was in the British military, as far as the vast majority, there were some very, very good officers and NCOs. I can count on one hand. The vast majority, as far as leadership skills, guidance, and the jobs they should be doing, completely incompetent. Would I give them a job these days? I wouldn't give them the steam off my piss, to put it very, very politely. So this is where, from my perspective, I take everything, especially when people's talking about veterans and military, with a pinch of salt, because what I saw, I've not been impressed so far. You get some good guys, but you get some very, very good civilian guys. Anyway, back on track. So this is where there's a lot of supposed veterans that are not really veterans. The fact you've been in the military is no different than saying, I work for the post office. I was a bus driver. I was thinking how to put this stuff into context. Okay, I grew up on fishing boats. I was working on commercial fishing boats when I was 16. As soon as I left school, I left home, working on commercial fishing boats in North Devon, Ilfracombe. Before I went back to where I'm from, Falmouth, to work on fishing boats back there before I joined the military. All right, the fishing industry is the most dangerous industry globally. I think as far as accidents and everything else, deaths, it's the most dangerous industry to be in. One of. I know of when I was fishing, on the course I had to take my deckhand ticket. One kid turned up, he must have been 18, 19. He was there for the first phase. The second phase he didn't come back because his boat went down. He was out of Devon somewhere. His boat went down in the channel with everybody on board. He disappeared. I know another guy from where I'm from, Falmouth, that was, I talked to him about working for him. He disappeared, his boat was found, they think he went over the side. So within a short period of time, I know 2 people that was killed, died, disappeared. As far as injuries, people going to hospitals are a regular occurrence. People getting cut, busted up, such as life, daily occurrence, deal with it. So there you have the fishing industry, which is the most dangerous industry going. Okay, if you go to war, it's something else. But a lot of these veterans have never gone to war. So let's put it into context. You think about now, if you eat fish, how many people have died for you to have that piece of, as long as it's sea fish and not farm fish, how many people have died for you to have your fish fingers? I see a lot of people walking around, veterans, supposed veterans, with all these medals on. You know what? To me, it's no different than somebody walking around. It'd be more relevant for somebody to walk around with a box of fish fingers on their chest. Right, 24 fish fingers, to commemorate all the fishermen that die on a daily basis. And they reckon, so I was looking at some statistics, they reckon about 100,000 fishermen globally die each year. Commercial fishermen. There's no set numbers. Nobody knows, because people just disappear and nobody cares. They're fishermen. So to me, it'd be more relevant for people to walk around, instead of having a load of medals on their chest, to be walking around with fish fingers on their chest, or a piece of fish on their chest, to represent all the dead fishermen and all the injured fishermen. That to me is the same than a lot of these veterans walking around with all their attendance medals on. So again, people have said to me, some people say, oh, you're anti-military. I'm not anti-military, I was in the military. I deal with a lot of military people, and I have respect that people that volunteer to put themselves, it doesn't matter which side they're on. I have respect for fighters, shall we say. I don't have respect for what the Brit term is Walter Mitties, or people that pretend or play off being in the military where they didn't do anything. And again, this also goes over into law enforcement. When I hear people saying law enforcement's a dangerous job, you know what, I'll just say, think fishermen, think fish fingers, okay? The fishing industry is a lot more dangerous than being in law enforcement. So, this is my take on veterans. And I hope it makes sense. I'm a sarcastic asshole, so I hope this puts things into context. So this is where the vast majority of these veterans, well, I am a veteran fisherman, so I have a lot more time for fishermen than I do for most veterans. So I know the fishing industry is a lot harder and a lot rougher than the military. I know that for a fact. Anyway, follow me along on social media. I've got a lot more videos going up on various aspects of the close protection business, kidnapping, ransom business, etc., and also life in general. So follow me along on social media. We're up on YouTube, Instagram. Course-wise, we'll be sorting out more courses in 2002. Just been extremely busy for the last few months, 12 months, etc. So we will be sorting out courses again. In the meantime, follow us along on social media. Reach out if you have any questions. And as always, be good, stay safe, and stay out of trouble.